Welcome to the REHolistic Physio podcast. Here we're going to try to find out the whys in order to work on the hows. Everything that is covered on the podcast is based on current evidence and up-to-date information on each topic. Please seek advice from your GP or a healthcare professional before carrying out any of the advice that you hear on the podcast. Welcome, Lucy Wyndham-Read, this morning.
Thank you for having me. I love everything you're doing and how you're really trying to help people with awareness. So important.
Well, thank you, Lucy, and I admire all your work that you've done for people as well over the years. So thank you for coming on and joining me. Today we're going to talk about exercise snacks.
Brilliant.
Some really good points here that we're going to cover, and I think going to help so many people.
Definitely.
I know you've done a lot of work anyway yourself. But first of all, tell us a bit about yourself, Lucy.
So my background from years and years ago, people always think, because I teach about fitness, that I was a sporty kid at school, hated sports. And so for me, funny enough, I kind of came into fitness because I didn't enjoy fitness. And at school, when I left school, I was kind of a bit lost. I've been bullied and just thought, you know what, I'm going to throw myself in the deep end. And I went off and joined the army because I knew then that I just had no excuses to get out of doing sports. And if anything, I knew that they'd find the kind of deeper, stronger person inside me. And really, in a way, it was one of the best things I could have done. But that's where I really learned about how important self-belief is, determination, discipline, fitness, health, everything. And I guess really that's where it started, but it's never what people assume. And so then I spent 5 years in the army, came out of the army and wanted to then teach people about fitness and really teach the people that I felt a bit like when I'd been at school that had been the one that had been left out, never picked at games, always the last one to be picked, which really doesn't do much for your confidence. And I felt in the fitness industry, a lot of that kind of still continues. Like fitness is normally geared towards people that are already super fit and you've got to look like this. And actually, that's not the reality. Doesn't matter what age, what ability, we can all focus on our own health and fitness. So for me, it's about teaching it to everyone and in short, like little snacks, like doable, just little things, and you know, educating ourselves about our bodies, how they work, why they do certain things. And it's less about how we look, more about how we feel and what's happening on the inside is really key.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely, like, I think that's why I thought it was really important that people don't just look at the aesthetic.
Sure. And that's for years and years it's been like that. I think when we were talking about this the other day, I think the narrative is slightly changing. And do you know what really excited me? Shall I tell you? Even the those awful kind of, like, I can't think what they are, but reality in America, these big you know who I mean without saying, that have kind of this done, that lifted, but now they're starting to focus on health and having health scans, which, so for once you just think, actually, that's them perhaps talking about something that is more interesting. They're looking at what's happening with their heart health, their lung health, their bone health, instead of just all the other stuff. So that's where it's a little bit exciting that, you know, things are turning.
You can see it. You can see the tides changing, can't you, a little bit? And I think that's where I'm quite passionate about it as well. You know, being someone that's never, you know, aesthetically looked exactly, or the sort of frame. Oh, thank you. As are you, Lucy. Thank you. But you know, I went through my own things at school as well. But I think I love it because I've always been health focused from the inside and beauty from the inside. And that's what you try and teach your kids. My daughter's the same. Try and teach her, like, be a nice person. You know, just be healthy for you. Eat the right things just to make you feel better. And I think it's really important we just get that across.
Also, how narrow-minded is it that media told us everyone has to look a certain way? How dull and boring. Actually, be unique, embrace who you are. And there is nothing more beautiful than someone who is just confident and happy. Health and happiness, that's all it is, isn't it?
That's it. I could say we could end there because that's just like profound, but we shan't. But it's continue with these very important points here. So today we're going to talk about the exercise snacking. So, you know, when you read, you don't have to do that much exercise every day, as long as it's just good, small amounts of good exercise.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah, it's a really interesting study. I think it was in 2007 now by Dr. Hoda, I think. Anyway, long and short of it is, but something, and it was about and doing this research that found shorter little bouts of exercise throughout the day were way more effective than doing a longer, perhaps an hour's session 3 times a week, which is what we always kind of used to be told. And realistically, for some people, that's really hard to do. Whereas if you then think, okay, I can do 5 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at lunchtime, 7 minutes in the afternoon, we can do that, and we can do it at home. We don't need any equipment. And we're doing it to look after our balance, our mobility, our cardiovascular health. Then the narrative of it all changes. Then we realize these are little kind of prescription bite-sized exercises that we can do for our future health, how we're going to be stronger later in life, and also how we feel right here and right now. And of course, the other great thing, doing those shorter exercises is also really good to help manage your blood sugar levels, your energy levels, just to keep you kind of like fired up, because life now, let's be honest, is so sedentary. Everything, we're really designed to be seated. Everything, we can order breakfast to come from a moped. We don't even have to get out of bed. We can literally do everything. So it's crazy how in a way this modern world is kind of killing us as people. We've got to kind of go back to how it used to be. Absolutely. And so doing those shorter exercises are doable, and it's about making it a habit, because we don't want to just do it and go, okay, 3 weeks, let's do it 3 weeks, and after 3 weeks we stop. This needs to be like a lifelong,
isn't it? Long term. So first of all, we're just going to break down some of the exercises really into sort of key components. So first one we're talking about is balance. So obviously balance is quite a massive, huge area, isn't it, really? Because it involves your eyesight, your inner ear system or your vestibular system, proprioception from like muscles, joints, tendons. And it's important that we kind of keep our balance in order to keep well on our feet, and mobilizing as well as we can, and getting out and doing some of those exercises. I mean, you can exercise in sitting as well, we must add, you know, it's for anyone really, so you can do it sitting, standing. But balance, tell us about some of the balance stuff that you've kind of come up with.
And I think you're so right. You know, balance is something we perhaps really take for granted, and it's like, excuse my tummy is really rumbling now. Can you hear that? Oh my god, I'm so
over on audio probably.
And now it started, it's not going to stop, so there we are. There's no thunder. It's just a hungry tummy. Going back to balance, it's something that we don't want to start working on it when we've lost our balance. It's actually everyone, wherever you are, whatever age, start working on your balance. You know, constantly train it, challenge it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, as you said, it's more than just, can I stand on one leg? There are so many other aspects to it, but you know, we need it for day-to-day life to help prevent us falling, for us to be able to reach something, whatever it is. It's that going back to that functional training. And some really good kind of just little balance exercise snacks that you could do would be, depending on how good you are with your balance, do it if you are standing, then do it standing, do it with one hand on a wall to start with, but just get used to just lifting one foot off the floor and just, you know, hold that for a few seconds, place it down, then again do it on the other leg, and just as often as you can. And a really good thing when you're perhaps brushing your teeth, or if you're on the phone, just get used to standing on one leg if you're in the, I don't know, supermarket and something like that. I mean, just very subtle, it doesn't have to be a lot. And of course, the other thing, and actually as you said, and this is where I think you're absolutely brilliant, you're so right. If there might be some people that have limited mobility that can't stand, but balance is still really important to them. So a good balance exercise that they could do you think would be like, just engage your core? You know, work that deep transverse abdominis muscle. Do that by pulling your belly button in tight to your spine. And that's going to instantly really help realign you and make you stronger and give you better grounding. So it's just thinking about, how can I do a balance exercise snack every day? Just find something.
Exactly. And I think it's really important when we tie it into like people that you say quite sedentary, you know, might have working from home or whatever, on the phone a lot. they could do it while they're on the phone standing.
Definitely.
You know, they could be sitting or even seated. We're talking about the transversus abdominis, just the tummy muscle squeeze, and then just reaching. I sometimes do that with people, just reaching out of the base support, you know, reaching up high, reaching out, and just that sort of thing. Even if you're sat, you know, and you can't get up into standing at the moment.
That's fun. Reason. I love that, because you could give, like, you could say, right, point to the left corner, go right in front, do something. So you're then like working your motor skills as well, quick coordination, reaction,
visual as well, like pointing to look at something, look at like a point on the wall. There's loads of stuff you can do.
So so we agree, balance is never take it for granted.
No, absolutely.
You know,
and it actually, the systems start reducing in your, there's evidence saying your 20s, late 20s.
I mean, this is it.
So we need to, everyone needs to do it. We all need to incorporate it any time in life.
Really important.
The next one's really important as well. We're both quite, I think we were quite opinionated about this last time, actually. Bone health and bone exercise snacking. So, like, it's really important to say that I know some people, you know, might have osteopenia or osteoporosis, which is the bone density reduction or brittling of bones, as you might know it. But also, it's really important to know that muscle and tendon, that when you work your muscles and tendons, it pulls the bone, which helps to stimulate bone growth and remodeling. So actually doing that as well, even if you might think, okay, I've got osteoporosis or osteopenia and, you know, there's not much hope for me, there really is evidence to say there is. So can you tell us a bit about some of the stuff you do with regards to sort of the weight bearing or loading and the bone health?
So as you said, first of all, our bodies are incredible, and that's what we need to really appreciate, like how brilliant. So whenever we're doing a weight bearing exercise, one of the best ones is walking. That is weight bearing. In fact, we thought it was going to rain today, so we were like, and it's not, it's a really lovely sunny day. But anyway, walking is the #1, hands down, best exercise. It is a fantastic weight bearing, low impact exercise. And also what is really good is really helps strengthen the bones, especially around the hips and the lower back. So every time your heel strikes the ground, as you said, it's that remodeling. Is it a piezoelectric something chemical reaction, something like that? So anyway,
at some point,
but as you were saying, what it does, it kind of re-strengthens the bone, doesn't it? So the bone then becomes stronger each time. And that's where, so a good example of this, a weight-bearing exercise is swimming. One that isn't weight-bearing, swimming. So swimming is still really good for us, but with other aspects. But when it comes to things like a weight-bearing exercise, walking is really good. Obviously cycling is less weight bearing, but you know, it doesn't matter, there are lots of different ways.
That's what I'm trying to say. And also in seated, even doing the hip marching and sitting, just trying to sort of power through the legs.
So we know that by using our body weight and a little bit of impact is really good to help keep those bones really strong. It's kind of like a constant reminder, we want you to keep rebuilding and keep strong. So walking is really good. And actually one exercise, a really good little exercise snack that we can do for our bones, I call is crush the can. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that one.
So all you need to do is standing up, or you could do this seated with one foot. Just imagine you've got a can, an empty can of a fizzy soda or something, and all I want you to do is just tap, stomp on it. So just imagine you're crushing the can. So you're putting a little bit of force, not a crazy amount, we're not jumping, but enough of a stomp that it really then is kind of a heavy, so that's going to really kind of work those bones. And it's quite good to do like 3 crush the can. Crush, that's so hard to say. Crush the, oh my goodness, crush the can, go for 3 stops, then do it on the left and then right. And again, just add that into your routine. That could be great when you're waiting for the kettle to boil. You know, get everyone in the office doing it. You can do it seated, do it standing, but that's really good. Then obviously it's important to focus upper body as well. And I think, you know, press ups against the wall, against, you know, side to, worktop, on the floor, however, that's going to really help generate
Absolutely.
strength through your upper body as well.
And doing that, like when you're waiting for the kettle, I mean, how long does the kettle take? What, a minute or two?
Yeah, too long. I'm so impatient.
Yeah, so I'm there wandering around, like doing some squats or, you know, heel raises or whatever. So it's really important just to know that even if you did a couple of minutes while you're waiting for the kettle, do that, what, 4 or 5 times a day, and it adds up.
It really adds up. Whereas, that's so realistic, and you can do that. Whereas going to the gym for an hour is not, you know, if people can and want to, then that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. All I'm saying is that people that can't do that, be reassured that actually it is just as effective, if not even more effective, doing these short little bits.
You can do.
So we now know already how we're going to work on our balance. Every single day, we're going to take a little bit of time where we're standing on one leg, then on the other, and time yourself each week. Set yourself and just see, I did it for 7 seconds without kind of losing, like I was losing my balance a little bit. Then the following week, I bet you can do it for 9 seconds. See how it improves. Then we know every single day we're going to do those stomping, crush the can, do those little press ups to really then help maintain that bone health.
I think it's really important. It's really important that people know that it is not something you have to spend all day down the gym trying to achieve. And also the next thing really is posture. I mean, this is huge for me when I see people. The first thing I do is look at their posture and the way they walk in.
Yeah, because your posture then affects everything.
Absolutely, everything. And also it affects your breathing and your digestion. So if you're slightly slumped over all day, or you're sitting really awkwardly in a chair, we do that automatically. We're sitting up there, you know, like sitting up nice and tall now. But it is, posture's really huge. And also when it comes to if you're working at a desk, and you find yourself slumped over, just make sure you get up and stretch.
And it's natural. You do, don't you? We lean into it. I mean, that is how, and also if you think about it, when we're on our iPhone scrolling all the time, we're kind of creating that. And the more you do that, the more overstretched those muscles are, tighter here.
And then you lose that core as well, that core weakness. And the other thing is your head is quite a heavy structure. So as you come forward, it brings everything forwards. So actually posture's quite a big one. And for me, sometimes what I just get people doing, if they can sit in a chair, just get the back against the chair and just sit up nice and tall, open up the shoulders. And I sometimes do an exercise called opening the book.
Love this.
Open the book and then share it.
Show me, you go like that.
You close the book, you open the book, then you share it to your friends.
Can I use that on Instagram from you?
Of course you can.
Because I love it. It's so clever.
Sharing the book.
Because it's a really good visual, isn't it? Instead of you just saying, have your arms in front and open up, you know what you're doing. So you've got the book, you've opened it up. It's really, it's brilliant.
Yeah, so that's one of mine that I sometimes teach, standing or sitting with people, either been sitting in the chair, standing against the wall, back against the wall, trying to stand nice and tall, chin tuck, and then just lengthen from the head up. So from the back of the head, like you're pulling a piece of string. But yeah, it's really important. And the way the muscles anatomically sit in the body, we're anatomically better. The muscles function better when you're standing or you're sitting nicely in the right position.
Makes sense, doesn't it? Because that's where everything is designed to be aligned. So if we're a bit kind of skew with, then everything is gonna, and you're compressing on different organs, stuff like that.
So it's really just important for general health posture. Anything else you want to add to that, Lucy?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a really good. So I love that the book one is the best. I've got it's so good. So the other thing that's a really good one to do is what I call the ice cube posture. So for this is really good if someone is perhaps on a computer a lot. And all you need to do is just imagine I've just dropped an ice cube down your back, and instantly you kind of lift your chest, you pull your shoulders back. So again, it's a bit like opening the book and sharing the book. It's having that visualization, and it just, you then just readdress your posture. So what I suggest people to do is get like a little yellow post-it note and just write the word ice cube, stick it on the corner of your computer, stick it in wherever you spend a lot of time. So whenever you kind of see that little ice cube, you just pull it back instantly. So that's really good. And the more you do it, the more naturally you are in that position. Then the better your posture. And posture makes us look really elegant, makes us look confident as well, doesn't it? And just kind of more approachable. But as you said, better than that, it's good for your breathing, your digestion. You know, we're just kind of realigning the body.
Yeah,
So
and it's really, really important. Actually, because I see a lot of people that have had years of changes where they've leant a certain way because of using the mouse on one side or the phone in one ear, or and you actually changes all the way up through the body. So if anyone's listened to Julian Baker's one this week, which is the upper body strength, which actually is all upper body strength, means basically from neck all the way down your back, pretty much, because everything's so interconnected. So that actually you'll get shortening, not just in your neck where you're holding the phone to your ear, you'll get it all the way down, potentially all the way down your spine, into your lower back, into your glutes.
So it's kind of really, again, the posture snack is something focused on doing that every day. Open up that book and share that book, isn't it? Yeah.
And you can also add it in your exercises for balance, because you can put your sticker notes up there and be like, reach and do your ice cube, reach and do your open book. So you've done your balance.
I know, how nice is that? And nice because you know each one of those things, why you're doing it. Absolutely. You're not doing it to look a certain way on a beach in a bikini. Who cares about that? No. You're doing that for better balance, for better posture, to prevent injury, to feel stronger. That's what it's all about.
That is what it's all about. And the next one we're talking about is mobility. So mobility exercise snack.
Yeah. Okay, so mobility, again, is something that is equally as important, isn't it? So I think for mobility, for me, actually one of the best ways for mobility is walking. I think walking is just, you know, hands down. It's literally one of, as said, it's the most, also if you think about it, it's the most natural exercise. It's the first thing we're kind of like born to do. But if someone perhaps has limited mobility, walking isn't easy. A really good mobility one is just imagine you're swimming, do something with the arms. I like that one. But mobility, I would say, just spend 1 minute every single kind of in the morning, lunchtime, evening, no matter how busy you are, just doing a nice powerful march on the spot. If you've got more time, then a 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute walk, just go outside, just go and grab some fresh air and just walk. Mobility. And I think why walking is so good, it just focuses near enough on, it's a multi-joint movement, isn't it? So you know,
it's good for everything, fat burning, everything, joints, posture.
The other thing is another really good one, if perhaps you don't want to go out for a walk, do like, instead of doing a star jump, if you don't want to do the high impact, do a low impact star, just take the one arm up, one leg out. And just do that again. Just think, have your little tick list. Have you done your balance? Have you done your bone? Have you done your posture? Have it, and then add in your mobility. You know, and also let's be honest, if you are a Strictly Come Dancing fan, put on some music, just do some crazy dancing. I'm not. You won't get me doing that.
Have you watched me in the kitchen?
Really? Well, there you are, kitchen dancing. That's great for mobility.
You know what? Absolutely.
In all fairness, you know, we kind of joke about it, but if you think about it, exercise is simply moving your body, and you've got to do it in a way that you enjoy it, that's going to be doable. So what would your tune be?
My tune, oh my goodness, that's a really hard one. I absolutely love, as everyone knows now, my guilty pleasure is the Script.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Do you know the Script?
Yeah. Really?
Last weekend.
Oh wow, yeah.
And I think it would be one of their songs, probably something like Hall of Fame.
Okay, I'm going to listen to it on the way going home. You know, I can't think what that one is. Would I know it?
It was with, no, it wasn't with Will.i.am, was it? Standing in the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, lovely.
Or something like I've got to be honest. Like I think, and anyone else listening out there, because everyone knows, unfortunately, I lost my dad last year. But walking is a massive one. I found for grief.
Yeah, definitely.
I put on my music and I will literally just reflect on the day, on the year,
and just being out in nature. With that as well, definitely.
And I think that's quite humbling to be outside with nature, actually. And I know it's not the great time of year because it is a struggle sometimes in the evenings. But you know, if you've got time in the day, or say you work from home, or maybe you have a lunch break at work, just go out and spend 5 minutes walking.
And the great thing is you don't have to do it for long, but the minute you get out there, you want to stay out for longer anyway, don't you?
I end up going miles.
Walking is the best.
I'm with you. So that's amazing. Whatever mobility you can do, though, because obviously everyone's a bit different depending on their needs. But if you can just build it in like a minute, a minute of time around the garden, even start with, or something. Next one, core
core.
Oh, the good old core exercises.
Well,
so important.
It is, isn't it? So the core is kind of your anchor of everything, isn't it? If you've got a strong core, then you're helping everything else. And actually, we touched on this earlier on about helping for balance. So one of the best exercises, and wherever you are listening to this, you can do this with us right now, is just sit with good posture, sit nice and tall or stand tall, and then just place your finger by your belly button and have your other hand just behind on the lower back. And then all you need to do is now just pull your belly button in tight to your spine and just hold that for about 5 to 10 seconds, tight as you can. You can still be breathing, and then just release. So what we're doing there is, so the transverse abdominis, that deepest abdominal muscle, is like a fibrous band. There's no start or end to it. And that's your deepest core muscle. And by strengthening that, I always say, actually, it's quite a good analogy, this. If you imagine a tubey grip, you know, like one of those bandages for support. So say we've got it around our leg, but it's loose and baggy, it's going to do no good at all. It's absolutely pointless. Whereas if that tubey grip was to fit really well and really tight and snug, then that's going to support that joint. So that's a bit what we're doing with that muscle. If we're not working that muscle, it's doing nothing. Whereas if we every day we just focus on doing that several times throughout the day, it's going to make it stronger. The tighter it is, the more it's supporting the body.
So that is actually one thing that I've got to be honest, in my previous work history, I've worked here a lot in neurology and stroke, and that is one of the key exercises I use for people that start to try and gain sitting balance.
Right. Yeah.
So if you just imagine someone that can't even get up into sitting.
Yeah.
That is one of the things I start with, and then gentle leg movements.
But so, you know, it's so easy. This you can do it everywhere. You can do it on your commute. You can do it driving, because all you're doing, you're not actually, all you're doing is you're just engaging.
No one would even know, really.
That's it. It's
that along with your posture work.
Don't tell anyone. The secret abdominal
exercise. Told everyone.
But it's great. Really, really great.
And I think the thing is, you can just as you start to sort of feel your body, feel what your body's doing, get used to when it's all switching on and engaging, when your posture's good, then you can start challenging yourself more from there.
Yeah, definitely. You know? I mean, you know, those core ones, some of the best core exercises, actually, I always think, and ab exercises are standing ones, because then you're having to really help them. You know, and a lot of what we've talked about here, that you can then combine exercises by standing up and doing a kind of just a knee crunch, one knee, you know, like doing a standing ab knee crunch. That's working your balance, that's working your mobility, that's working your core, that's working your posture. You know, we're then working everything. And so many of these, a bit like the walking, let's think, you know, walking combines all those that we've just said.
Exactly. Oh, we've had this great discussion. We always have a good discussion, don't we? So I always say we're going to take away 3 points from this. And I think as me and Lucy are actually in the same room today, if you're not watching it, we're actually in the same room.
It's funny because it looks like we are, doesn't it?
We've done that really well there. It is,
or like a kind of just, it looks like it's divided there.
It does look like it is. We thought that was quite funny. But we think, what do you reckon? Make it fun. Make it easy to do.
Quick. It's just got to be, and actually really, really take away from this the benefit. The benefit of you doing it is you're going to have stronger bones, you're going to have better balance, better mobility, you're going to have more energy. And it's about actually realizing how important it is to do, but how easy it is to do. So every time now, when you're brushing your teeth or after you've brushed your teeth, just stand on one leg, just get used to doing that. Every day, work on doing your core. If it's when you're watching your favorite TV program in the evening, get everyone to do it. You know, just go do a little bit of a walk. And then no matter what, every day, crush that can, stomp on that can.
Crush that can,
keep those bones strong.
Thank you, Lucy. Lovely to have you.
Thank you.